learned that Mr. Trump is working to block the release of special counsel Jack Smith's final report. It addressed the election interference case. It also addressed the Florida classified documents case. Viewers probably remember both of those cases have been dismissed, but what do we need to know here about this report?
Right. This is special counsel Jack Smith's office. And folks may recall when Robert Mueller investigated the Russian collusion back during Trump's first administration. And then there was also the Durham report, which went into an investigation that was prompted by Donald Trump's DOJ to look at the roots of that very investigation. Both of those men, Durham and Mueller, released their own reports upon winding down their special counsel's office. And yeah, it didn't amount to specific charges. That's not what this document, this report was, but it wrapped up and laid out what they found based off of their investigation and ultimately sought to have it publicly released. And that is what Jack Smith is now seeking to do here before Inauguration Day. But Trump's attorneys, as well as the attorneys of co-defendants down in the Florida classified documents case, are seeking to block it. The lawyers for the co-defendants down in Florida are arguing that the case was already thrown out against Donald Trump. And so therefore, effectively, a report should not be released. And instead, it should be up to Donald Trump's Department of Justice to determine whether that report is ultimately released. That letter went to Merrick Garland, the current attorney general.
Danny, expand on that a little bit. Explain the Trump team's argument to us and then tell us, what do you think? Is this report released or blocked?
Yeah, this is so fascinating because the argument is an interesting one. It's that because Jack Smith's special counsel status was deemed by this same court to be unconstitutional, therefore his submitting of this final report is also inappropriate because he's just some private citizen. And after all, and I'm just giving the Trump argument, the DOJ withdrew its appeal at the appellate court of that decision by Judge Cannon. In other words, they're not even contesting Cannon's decision that Jack Smith was unlawfully or unconstitutionally appointed. So therefore, the argument goes, how can they release a special report if he's not special counsel? He's just a private citizen. And the regulations require that it be submitted to DOJ, but then Merrick Garland does have some discretion in whether or not to release the report. So they may not have an argument directly on legal point. After all, how could you? Who could have anticipated a situation like this? But in spirit, the Trump team does have a point here.
Where do you think this goes then? Released or blocked?
I think eventually one way or another it gets released. And I think that goes to the amount of discretion that Merrick Garland has. Judge Cannon would have to conclude that, hey, because I deemed you no longer special counsel, you don't have the authority to even submit this report. It could go either way.
Danny Cevallos and Vaughn Hillyard, thank you both very much, covering a lot there for us.